Someone you trusted completely just broke that trust. Someone you believed in, someone you were vulnerable with, someone you thought would never hurt you. They did exactly that. And now you can't trust anyone. You check your phone obsessively. You read between the lines in conversations. You assume the worst in people. You sabotage relationships before they can sabotage you. That's betrayal trauma. And it's one of the most devastating psychological injuries a human can experience. But most people don't understand what betrayal actually does to your brain. They think it's just hurt feelings. They think you should just get over it. But betrayal literally rewires your nervous system. It shatters your foundational beliefs about the world. And in this video, I'm breaking down the psychology of betrayal, what it does to your brain, why you can't trust again, why you're hypervigilant, and how to actually heal. Stay tuned. If psychology fascinates you, subscribe and hit the bell. We release brain science that changes your life every single week. Let's start with what betrayal actually is. Because betrayal is different from other kinds of hurt. If someone steals from a stranger, that's theft. If someone lies to you, that's deception. But if someone you trust betrays you, that's a violation of your deepest psychological needs. Betrayal is the violation of trust by someone in a position of trust. That's the key. It's not just about what they did. It's about who did it. The closer the relationship, the deeper the betrayal. Your parent betraying you is more traumatic than a stranger betraying you. Your partner betraying you is more traumatic than a coworker. Your best friend betraying you is more traumatic than an acquaintance. Because trust is proportional to closeness. The closer you are, the more you trust. And the more you trust, the more devastating the betrayal. Now let's talk about what betrayal does to your brain. When you experience betrayal, your limbic system activates. That's your emotional center. Your amygdala fires. That's your threat detection system. Your stress response activates cortisol, floods your body. But here's what's interesting. Your brain treats betrayal trauma differently than other kinds of trauma. With physical trauma, your brain goes into fight, flight, or freeze. But with betrayal trauma, your brain does something else. It tries to make sense of the contradiction. Your brain believed this person was safe, and then they weren't. Your brain can't reconcile that. So it goes into a state of constant confusion, constant questioning, constant reevaluation of reality. This is why betrayal trauma is so unique. With a car accident, you know what happened. The danger was external. With betrayal, the danger was internal. It came from someone you invited into your inner world. So your brain becomes hypervigilant. It starts scanning for threats from people you thought were safe. It becomes paranoid. It becomes suspicious. It becomes obsessive about checking for signs of betrayal in every relationship. Let me explain hypervigilance, because this is crucial to understanding betrayal trauma. Hypervigilance is when your nervous system is stuck in threat detection mode. Your amygdala is constantly activated. You're scanning every interaction for signs of danger. You're reading into people's words. You're analyzing their facial expressions. You're looking for inconsistencies. You're interpreting ambiguous situations as threatening. And this is exhausting. Your nervous system never gets a break. You're constantly in a state of low-level panic. Even in safe situations, your body is treating them as dangerous. And here's the thing about hypervigilance. It becomes self-fulfilling. You're so suspicious that you sabotage relationships. You accuse people of things they haven't done. You push people away before they can hurt you. You test people constantly to see if they'll betray you. And sometimes, people get tired of being tested. They get tired of being accused. They get tired of the suspicion. So they leave, and your hypervigilance is validated. You were right. People can't be trusted. They will betray you. But you don't see that you created the betrayal through your own behavior. Now, let's talk about trust demolition. When you experience betrayal, your fundamental beliefs about the world are shattered. You believed that if you were good, if you were kind, if you were vulnerable with someone, they would reciprocate that. They would be good to you, but they weren't. So now, you don't know what to believe. You don't know who to trust. You don't know if anyone can be trusted. This is called shattering of core beliefs. And it's one of the most psychologically damaging aspects of betrayal. Let me give you a real example. This is Jessica. Jessica met David in college. He was charming, attentive, seemed perfect. They dated for 5 years. They moved in together. Jessica was planning to marry him. She was completely vulnerable with him. She told him her deepest insecurities, her fears, her dreams. And then one day, Jessica discovered that David had been having an affair for 2 years. 2 years. While Jessica was being completely faithful and vulnerable, David was lying and cheating. Jessica's world fell apart. Not because David cheated, that was painful, but survivable. Jessica's world fell apart because her entire belief system was destroyed. If David could betray her like that, if someone who claimed to love her could lie to her for 2 years, then what could she trust? How could she ever trust anyone again? And this is what happened to Jessica. She couldn't. For the next 3 years, she went through a series of relationships. In each one, she was hypervigilant. She checked her boyfriend's phone. She accused them of cheating without evidence. She sabotaged relationships when they got too close. She pushed away anyone who tried to love her. She was so afraid of being betrayed again that she made it impossible for anyone to be close to her. She became the common denominator in all her failed relationships. But she didn't see that. She just saw that men can't be trusted, that love is a lie, that vulnerability is dangerous. Now let's talk about the specific patterns that develop after betrayal. First, there's hypervigilance, as I mentioned, but there's also rumination. Rumination is when you can't stop thinking about the betrayal. You replay it over and over in your mind. You imagine different scenarios. You think about all the signs you missed. You think about how stupid you were for not seeing it. You think about the lies they told you. You think about all the moments that were fake. This rumination can go on for years. It's exhausting. It's consuming. It prevents you from moving forward. Then there's the trust testing pattern. After betrayal, you test people constantly. You do things to see if they'll betray you. You tell them a secret to see if they'll tell someone else. You make them choose between you and something else to see where their loyalty lies. You create situations where they could betray you and watch to see if they will. This is your nervous system trying to regain control. It's trying to predict threat. But it's also extremely damaging to relationships, because no one can pass all your tests. Everyone will eventually do something that seems like a betrayal to your hypervigilant brain. Then there's the self-blame pattern. You blame yourself for the betrayal. You think if you had been better, more beautiful, smarter, more attentive, they wouldn't have betrayed you. You think you somehow caused the betrayal. You think you deserved it. This is a cognitive distortion that many betrayal survivors experience. And it's understandable, because it feels more controllable to blame yourself than to accept that someone you trusted deliberately hurt you. If it's your fault, then you can fix it. You can be better. You can prevent it from happening again. But the truth is, it's not your fault. Betrayal is a choice someone else makes. Now let's talk about the neurobiology of betrayal trauma. When you're betrayed, your brain releases stress hormones: cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. These activate your threat detection system. But here's what's different about betrayal. With other traumas, the threat is clear. It's a car, it's a person attacking you, it's a disaster. Your brain knows what the threat is. But with betrayal, the threat is your own trust, your own judgment, your own ability to read people. So your brain starts to distrust everything, including itself. This can lead to dissociation. Dissociation is when you disconnect from your body and emotions. It's a protective mechanism. Your brain is saying, this is too much to feel, so I'm going to numb you. You experience emotional numbness. You can't feel anything. You go through life on autopilot. You can't connect with people. You can't feel joy. You can't feel love. You're just surviving. It can also lead to hyperarousal. Your nervous system is constantly activated. You can't sleep. You startle easily. You're always on edge. Your heart rate is elevated. You're constantly scanning for danger. You might develop anxiety or panic attacks. You might develop OCD-like checking behaviors. You're constantly checking your phone, checking your partner's phone, checking social media, looking for signs of betrayal. Let me tell you about another real case. This is Marcus. Marcus was best friends with David since childhood. They did everything together. When Marcus was going through a rough time financially, David offered to lend him money. Marcus borrowed $50,000 from his best friend. He trusted David completely. And then Marcus discovered that David had told everyone about Marcus's financial problems. He had gossiped about it. He had made fun of him. Marcus's entire social circle knew about his struggles because his best friend betrayed his confidence. And the betrayal wasn't just the gossip. It was the violation of trust. It was being vulnerable with someone and having that vulnerability used against him. Marcus couldn't trust anyone after that. He became isolated. He didn't share his problems with anyone. He didn't let anyone get close to him. He lost his friendship group because he was so suspicious and withdrawn. The betrayal didn't just damage his friendship with David. It damaged his ability to have any close relationships. So what causes someone to betray? Why do people hurt the people they claim to love? There are many reasons. Some people have no empathy. They're narcissists or sociopaths. They literally don't care if they hurt people. Some people are selfish. They want something and they don't care who they hurt to get it. Some people are broken. They've been hurt so much that they hurt others. Some people are cowards. They can't handle conflict, so they cheat or lie instead of being honest. Some people are addicts. They're addicted to attention or sex or excitement, and they'll betray their partner to get it. Some people are just stupid. They do things without thinking about the consequences. But here's the thing about betrayal. It's rarely about the betrayed person. It's about the betrayer. If your partner cheats, it's not because you weren't good enough. It's because they made a choice. If your friend gossips about you, it's not because you trusted the wrong person. Okay, you did, but it's because they chose to gossip. You can't control whether people betray you. You can only control how you respond. Now let's talk about how to actually heal from betrayal trauma. This is important because most people don't heal. They just learn to live with it. First, you need to accept that what happened was real, that it was wrong, that you have a right to be hurt. Don't minimize it. Don't tell yourself you should be over it by now. Don't tell yourself you're being dramatic. Betrayal is real trauma. It deserves to be acknowledged. Second, you need to grieve. You need to grieve the loss of the person you thought they were. You need to grieve the loss of the relationship you thought you had. You need to grieve the loss of your trust in them. You need to grieve the loss of your sense of safety in the world. This grief can take years, and that's okay. Third, you need to do the work to regulate your nervous system. Betrayal, trauma, leaves your nervous system dysregulated. It's stuck in threat mode. You need to help it come back to baseline. This means meditation, yoga, breathing exercises, exercise, time in nature, anything that calms your nervous system. You need to literally retrain your body to feel safe. Fourth, you need to work on rebuilding trust. Not in the person who betrayed you, that ship has sailed, but in yourself. You need to trust your judgment again. You need to believe that you can read people. You need to believe that you can make good decisions. This is harder than it sounds, because betrayal shatters your confidence in your own ability to read people. You ask yourself, how could I not see this? How could I be so stupid? How could I trust someone who was lying to me the whole time? But here's the truth. You couldn't have known. There's no way to guarantee that someone won't betray you. The best judge of character can be fooled. It's not your fault. Fifth, you need to recognize that not everyone will betray you. Your betrayal trauma is making you assume that everyone is like the person who hurt you. But most people aren't. Most people are trustworthy. Most people will not betray you. But your hypervigilant brain can't see that. Your hypervigilant brain sees threat everywhere. You need to consciously recognize that threat and reality are different things. Here's the key insight about betrayal recovery. You can't go back to trusting the way you did before. That innocence is gone. But you can develop a different kind of trust. A trust that's informed by reality. A trust that understands that people are imperfect. A trust that doesn't require perfect certainty. A trust that can coexist with healthy boundaries. And here's the final thing. If someone betrays you again after you've worked through betrayal trauma, that's information. That's telling you something about your judgment. Maybe you're still choosing the wrong people. Maybe you're still not recognizing red flags. Maybe you need to keep working on boundaries. But one betrayal doesn't mean you can never trust again. It means you need to be smarter about who you trust. So that's betrayal trauma. That's what it does to your brain. That's why you can't trust again. That's why you're hypervigilant. That's why you sabotage relationships. But it's not permanent. You can heal. You can rebuild trust. You can have healthy relationships again. It just takes time, awareness, and intentional work on your nervous system and your beliefs. If this video resonated with you, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos on psychology and relationships that actually change your life. Next week, I'm breaking down the psychology of reconciliation, when to stay and when to leave after betrayal. And it's going to help you make the right decision for your life. Don't miss it. See you in the next one.